It's time for another edition of PACTV Community News.
This week, we give you an update on the Plymouth's curbside trash and recycling program.
The more that you recycle and the less you dispose of as trash results in a savings to you.
PACTV Community News takes you to a party for the Pantry in Pembroke.
So it's by the community, for the people, and helping out around the holidays when people and families really need it.
A glass-blowing presentation in Kingston.
Tonight at the library, I'm going to be talking about the history of glassblowing and the glassblowing movement.
And an art show in Duxbury.
And I think it's a great way for them to learn communication skills that they never learn in school.
Our health and wellness segment features David Kelly with tips for cleansing. And we'll discover why Plymouth's Thanksgiving Parade received national recognition.
This week's Town Talk segment comes from Plymouth. These stories and more are featured on this week's edition of PACTV Community News. Kingston is the home of S.J. Davis Glass, a studio that creates one-of-a-kind hand-blown glass. Gallery owner S.J. Davis held a presentation about his craft at the Kingston Public Library, and PACTV Community News went there to see more.
My name is Samuel Joseph Davis. I'm a glassblowing major, art history minor. I had a love for glass at a young age, and in high school got to experience some of it and go hands-on a little bit, and decided that's what I was going to do for college. I was going to become a glassblowing major, and found a good school for that, Jacksonville University, down in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. There I spent 4 years learning the ins and outs of glass, and it was a great place. And I also apprenticed with Bill Slade there in Jacksonville, Florida, and did that for about a year. And once I was done with that, I came back home to Kingston, Massachusetts, opened up my studio. Tonight at the library, I'm going to be talking about the history of glassblowing and the glassblowing movement. Going back to ancient times around, Egypt, when, the first appearance of glass. Egypt has the largest known natural forming glass, which is really crazy. They actually say that the glass in the desert of Egypt, it's about this thick. Like, you could literally find chunks of glass that naturally formed. Crazy. And scientists say to produce that glass would have had to take in 10,000 times the blast of the atomic bomb. Industrial times, where people were making bottles in factories, to where the furnace had been created for the studio, so artists could actually create glass at their own studio and not have to go to a factory. Is glass a solid or a liquid? This is something that's debated constantly in the glass world. Scientists are weary of putting, an exact, whether it is or isn't. But what we've noticed is that glass seems to always be moving, even when it's solid in your houses. And there's some examples of that. In my house, it's really old, so the windows have actually become thicker at the base of the window. Just been making art for making art to make art, and letting people watch, letting people come down Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and whenever I got the flag out, 91 Main Street, glassblowing, just letting people watch.
The Pembroke Food Pantry aids local families by providing food and other necessities from the town's community center, and is experiencing an increase in requests for aid during the holidays. PACTV Community News visited the Party for the Pantry to learn more about their work.
My name is Matt York. My wife and I started this along with a couple of our friends, Dan Taylor and Janet White, 4 years ago. We are all Pembroke residents, and we started this. My wife and I, honestly, we wanted to have a Christmas party. We just moved down here. We didn't have a whole lot of friends that we felt we were friends that were close enough friends that would be not weird for us to invite them to our house. So we decided to have a little fundraiser. A lot of people came. And then the next year we got to know more people came, and then it's just kind of grown and grown from there. So now we have, I don't know, a gazillion people running around in there, so it's a good thing.
My husband Matt and I thought about having a party for the community, and we thought one way that we could help the community is to have a party that actually benefited the community but also involved everybody in the community. So it's by the community, for the people, and helping out around the holidays when people and families really need it.
The folks that actually benefit from the food pantry they're our neighbors. They're the people that we run into every day. They're the people that we see down at the plaza. They're the people that you run into just walking around town. I mean, the food pantry serves the people of Pembroke, and it serves people that are average middle-class folks that, dad lost a job, mom lost a job, and they just need a little help to kind of get through. And the most important thing about the pantry is they serve people every day. It's 365 days a year. It's not just Christmas time. It's not just Thanksgiving. It's a need over the summer. It's a need in the fall. It's a need in the winter. It's a need in the spring. And these guys do some great things for all of our neighbors in Pembroke.
It's been a great event tonight. Each year it gets bigger and bigger. I don't know how many years we've had the food pantry. Edna Rand started it many, many years ago, and it's grown where it had a permanent place in the community center, which is, I hate to say thriving because, it's sad that we have this economy, but it is a place that is helping the needy. I've gone there on occasion to donate something, and there's definitely people in need, and they're very grateful what they get, and I'm glad people are helping, and I'm sure Pembroke, as always, will rally to the cause.
Certainly around Christmas time, it's always tough for everybody, money-wise, and so the idea of not even being able to put food on the table, never mind get Christmas presents and presents for your kids, your family, it's just, a horrific thought.
You're a good boy, Santa might be able to get you that for Christmas.
It's pretty much a zoo in there with all the kids, which is really awesome because Christmas is really many things to many people, but the magic of it is really comes to life in the eyes of children. So watching them do their crafts and dance around and just enjoy the spirit of the season, it just lifts my heart and, it makes me so happy to see the joy. So having a Christmas party without the kids just would seem so wrong. So having them here means the world.
There are many changes coming in Plymouth in regards to its recycling and trash programs. This past year, Plymouth began a pay-as-you-throw program and will begin its new curbside recycling and trash pickup in January. This pay-as-you-throw program requires residents to use official orange trash bags in an effort to increase recycling rates and will continue into the curbside pickup program. Plans are also in place with the 3 transfer stations. Both South Street and Cedarville locations will close, leaving only Manomet open. PACTV Community News met up with Plymouth's solid waste manager and recycling coordinator to hear more.
What I'd like to talk with you today about are 3 things that have been going on in the town of Plymouth regarding solid waste and recycling for the past year. I'd like to talk about the pay-as-you-throw program. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the upgrades to the Manomet transfer station that are behind us, and I'd also like to talk about the new curbside collection program that will be starting January 2nd, 2014. With regard to pay-as-you-throw, that program was implemented on July of 2013. As everyone in town likely knows, you purchase orange bags at area stores, and the premise behind it is the more that you recycle and the less you dispose of as trash, results in a savings to you. And the idea really is you recycle more and you pay less. A little bit about some of the upgrades to the Manomet transfer station. As everyone in town likely knows, the town is scheduled to close the Cedarville and the Long Pond South Street transfer stations at the beginning of the year. Manomet will be the only transfer facility open. The Department of Public Works has been working since September to realign and upgrade the facility to make it more efficient for customer use. Now, as part of the upgrade, the facility is scheduled to be closed starting December 3rd and will reopen on December 17th. And for those residents who would come to Cedarville, or would come to Manomet normally, you have to go to Cedarville because Cedarville will be open some extra days during that time period. And those hours are from 8 to 5 on Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our curbside collection program will be beginning on January 2nd of 2014. It's also important to note that in the next several weeks, cards will be mailed out to all the residents indicating what days of the week the pickup will be for your trash and your recyclables.
If you are participating in the town's curbside pickup program, you'll receive 2 carts at your curb this month. One is a 65-gallon trash cart, and the other is a 95-gallon single-stream recycling cart. You will not need to separate your recycling since it all goes into the one recycling container. PACTV Community News spoke with the chairperson of the town's SMART Committee and founder of Plymouth Recyclers to find out what can and cannot be recycled.
I've been recycling in my home for over 5 years now. It's a very easy thing to adapt to any household. I have a 5- and a 7-year-old who are great help at doing it. And I think Plymouth could get a lot more people recycling if they had a little more knowledge on what to recycle and what not to recycle. So I'm going to go through a few common household things, my trash for the day, that's going to essentially save you money by not throwing it in the trash. It can be recycled. All this here, it's a week's worth of recyclable trash that doesn't have to go in your trash bag. They can all be recycled, and you're not going to pay $1.25 for the bag because it's going to all be recycled. So what we're looking for on the recyclable items are a number 1 to 7 with the recycle symbol. Those are going to go in a bucket. Plastic, metal, and glass all go together right now. Those are all recyclable. When you have an envelope, you don't have to worry about ripping out the little cellophane window. Also, in a notebook or something, you don't have to worry about the wire. Shopping bags are a big no-no. They are misleading because they have the recycle symbol on them. Things, waxy substances, like a takeout box, it's kind of got a waxy layer on it. That's got to go in the trash. Please rinse out items that are going to go in. Just give it a quick shake. I know you don't want to waste water, but give it a quick shake before you throw it in. You also don't want that stinky tuna can stinking up your compost area. So here we are at my compost bin. I use this little bucket in the kitchen to fill up so I'm not trotting out here every day with every burnt bagel I make and every apple core. These compost bins sell for $40 at the transfer station, and household food probably is about 50% of your trash. So if you had a compost bucket and you could just empty out all this food waste, you're going to be saving a lot of room in that trash bag.
Trash will be picked up every week and recycling every other week. A card will be mailed to participating Plymouth residents with their particular pickup schedule. A street index and pickup information will be posted on the town's website and at the Plymouth's collector's office. You'll still be required to use those orange bags for your trash as the pay-as-you-throw program and recycling efforts continue. Bags can be purchased at area supermarkets as well as Benny's and CVS locations.
Duxbury held its annual Youth Art and Craft Fair last weekend. The fair had 70 tables of unique gifts, all made by young people from ages 9 to 19. 28 towns were represented. The high school was filled with youth entertainment, shoppers, and one-of-a-kind handmade gifts. PACTV Community News caught up with the organizer of this incredible youth event and heard from one crafter about the success the fair has brought to her young craft business.
Today is a Youth Arts and Crafts Fair where all the products are being sold are made by youth, ages 9 to 19 from 28 towns and 3 states. This year differs from last year. We have many more tables. We have 10 more tables, and we have 5 entertainment acts throughout the day and a lot more interest. So we came up with this idea to do a Youth Arts and Crafts Fair, and the response has been phenomenal. You know, I get emails. I actually have someone here from Maine. That's, you know, like, I just feel like that's pretty amazing to have someone from Maine come all the way up here to be at a craft fair. I think it's a really great event because the kids are learning skills that they don't learn in the classroom. You know, how to make eye contact, how to do supply and demand, you know, and they actually have to sell to customers and greet them and know that they shouldn't be playing with their phone when, you know, people are walking around because they want to make a sale. And I think it's a great way for them to learn communication skills that they never learn in school.
Be a Cutie is a business that my friend and I started to fundraise for a school trip, and we just kind of decided we liked doing it, so we grew it to be able to, we're selling it in different stores now, and we just kind of go around to craft fairs, and it's kind of fun. It started because we had to raise money for, our school was going on a trip. It was a really expensive trip, so we needed a fundraiser. And my friend came to me with this idea that she had, because her sister goes to college down south, and these are really popular down there. So she was like, let's make and sell them at different craft fairs. And we ended up raising a ton of money for our field trip. And then when the field trip was over, we thought we might as well continue growing it as business since it's been so successful and everybody's liked it. So, you know, we kept it going. Be a Cutie mostly supplies hair products like hair ties and headbands. So once we decided to start this as our own business and we weren't fundraising for a field trip anymore, we wanted to kind of give back and still do something for other people. And so we first started by raising money for sarcoma, which is a form of cancer that we lost one of our friends to. So we wanted to raise money for her and that. And then after that, the Boston bombings happened, and we wanted to kind of help out our city where we're from. So we decided to do the One Fund. And so we're raising, so any of the hair ties that have the yellow ribbon on it, the money goes directly to the One Fund, and we're collecting that along with like donations that people may have.
Dino Tees is a t-shirt company, small company that I came up with when I had to make a t-shirt for a Girl Scout trip, and I came up with Buddy the Dinosaur, and people wanted to know where I got it, so I decided to make more, and I signed up for a couple craft fairs, and here I am. I chose dinosaurs because dinosaurs are my life. I love them. I've always watched dinosaur TV shows. I had little plastic dinosaurs when I was a kid, and they're just cute. They're adorable. I have a Tyrannosaurus Rex named Buddy, a pterodactyl named Joe, a Stegosaurus named Carl, and a Bronchosaurus named Sammy.
A local Plymouth woman has a very distinctive job. Ann Jolis is a life coach who helps people overcome life's challenges and to focus personal energy to maximize individual success. Ann has been awarded the 2013 Life Coach of the Year by the International Coach Federation of New England. PACTV Community News met Ann to discuss her work.
Life is made up of two things. One is who you're being in life. So it's the being of you and the being, how do you show up in your life? And the other part is the doing of life. What are you doing? What are you accomplishing? What are your goals? What are your passions and your strengths? So life coaching tries to tie those, and does tie those two together, the being in your life and the doing in your life.
You know, I can clearly see the difference that life coaching has made in my life and my business. You know, I was always a hard worker, always worked on the vision thing and the strategy thing, but the value especially of working with Ann as a life coach is that she brings objectivity and accountability. And boy, those are kind of two really important things that we can't do for ourselves. No matter how talented we may be in what we're doing.
I run a nonprofit organization, and that nonprofit organization has a lot of moving parts. And it's very difficult for me as a mother who has a son who's handicapped and is living with a fatal disease, a mother to 4 other teenagers, have a husband who has his own business, to manage all of the different areas in the nonprofit that I have to manage. So I didn't necessarily seek out life coaching. I feel like life coaching kind of came in, and it was apparent that I wasn't going to be able to juggle everything at the speed I was going. And when I came across these obstacles, or what I thought was going to be an obstacle, something that was unsurmountable, and an activity that or a request that I've never had to go against before, that's where I found that life coaching was able to help me figure out the different key elements that I could pull together to accomplish whatever it is that I was trying to accomplish.
I've been working as a life coach for the past 12 years, and for me, it only gets better. I love working with people who want to make their lives and their work better. They want to create lives and work that they love. And the important thing is they're willing to do the work it takes to achieve that. And those are just the people that I love to work with.
Each November, many local residents join together to produce the annual Thanksgiving Parade in Plymouth. This parade draws hundreds of thousands of visitors from all over the country.
It's all year long process to come to this weekend. It's only as great as it is because of the people that are behind it. I hope that people that are out there watching it, whether it's here in Plymouth, whether it's in New England, whether it's across the country or across the world, that it is so great to be in America's hometown where it all began.
Boston television news anchor Randy Price has served as the parade's grand marshal for many years.
This parade, which was this homegrown thing that was just so awesomely done, it is just so beautifully carried out, and all of the volunteer work that goes into it, it's amazing.
The parade format follows events in American history, pays tribute to our military troops and veterans, and attracts drum and bugle corps teams from across the USA. This year's event drew over 200,000 people, and AOL Travel rated the Plymouth Parade as the #1 Thanksgiving parade in the country. PACTV acknowledges the efforts of the many local volunteers and the America's Hometown Thanksgiving Committee. Next year's planning has already begun, so if you would like to get involved, visit their website to find out more.
Hi, my name is Dave Kelly, your independent distributor from Advocare, and I'm here on PCN's Health and Wellness Spot. Today we're going to talk about cleansing. Now, cleanse, a lot of people are not familiar with it. Basically, it's like a lube, oil, and filter you would use in your car, but you're doing it for your body. With all the pollutants, contaminants, and impurities in the food and floating around the air, your body processes a lot of that through it and does a good job of it. But every once in a while, you do need to clean it out. And the places you need to address are your GI tract, which would be your stomach and your intestines, your liver, and your kidneys, as well as probiotics, which are healthy bacteria. You find that in yogurts as well. But probiotics, by having them in your system, they help you to break down the food. And your body does have bacteria in it. You just want to make sure you have the healthy bacteria in that. Along with that comes omega-3 fatty acids. You take these. What that does, it helps flush out the bad fats and puts good fats in there. Now, a cleanse is all based around a healthy nutritional plan as well. So while you're doing this particular cleanse, it's not a deprivation cleanse. You're still eating a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, chicken, fish, eggs, oatmeal, lots of water. Always have lots of water on hand. Just be drinking that throughout the day. Lots of fruits, vegetables, oatmeal, eggs, lean protein, fish and meat. Try to stay away from lobster and shrimp and things of that nature while doing it, and steak. The foods you want to avoid wheat, avoid dairy, and coffee if you can. That's why I throw a spark in there. With that, you're going to want to drink a lot of water, just water throughout the day. And this wouldn't be a deprivation diet. You're definitely feeding yourself throughout the whole thing. A lot of cleanses are a little harsh. You do them over 1 or 2 days, and they're not very comfortable. This particular cleanse, it's done over 10 days, so it's gentle and uneventful, as we like to say. The benefits you'll get from a cleanse is you'll get an increased metabolism, increased energy, more focus throughout the day, and your body will process the nutrients that you are putting in it much more efficiently, so that they're going to the right place in the right way, and you'll just feel better for it. So I'm Dave Kelly, your independent distributor from Advocare for PACTV Health and Wellness segment.
Hi, I'm Melissa Irigi, Plymouth's Town Manager, and what I wanted to talk to you about today is the town's budget process. We are trying to do that a little early this year. Now, I've been on this clip before and talked about the budgeting process, but it's important. It's a $180 million budget to run the community of Plymouth, so it's something that we believe people should spend time thinking about and certainly commenting on and getting back to us. Now, most communities can only go up 2.5% plus any new growth they may have. Plymouth is a little bit different because you have what's called excess levy capacity. So you can go up beyond 2.5% growth in your overall budget. Plymouth historically has tried to stay within that, although not required, very good practice. So we try and stay as close to that as a directive as possible. And what's wonderful about working in this community and leading it is that we have a great relationship with the school department. And because of that, they work very closely and collaborate with us on their budget. So we are finishing up the budget process right now in terms of internally what we do. Departments have built their requested budget. They've included things in their budget like any raises that may have been negotiated for the employees that work here, as well as any other contractual arrangements they might have, like a maintenance contract for a building or possibly some kind of technology package, and that service cost may go up every year. And really those were the only new initiatives that we were looking at. Now the selectmen had indicated they were interested in doing a couple other things in Plymouth that were beyond the typical services that we've provided in the past. They wanted to start to really look at that, quote, 1,000-acre property in South Plymouth that you've all heard about. That's a large parcel that we have in South Plymouth that maybe in the future a portion of it could be developed. But right now it's a complicated parcel because of all the title research that needs to be done. In addition, they've set some money aside in the town manager's budget to make funds, about $50,000 available for appraisals. As land or sites become available in the town of Plymouth, one of the things that we have to do is look at that parcel and say, is this a good site for future development, or is this maybe something that we want to preserve? So we work closely with the Community Preservation Committee on any site that we think we might want to retain for the future for open space. But there are other parcels that become available that we might want as a community for future development, but we want to hold on to it for now. We want to protect it in a way that it's in the public interest for future development. So we've set aside some funds in the budget to take a look at that. Now, not all these things may happen. This budget process is in its early stages. We will bring this before the Board of Selectmen, the Finance Committee, and other interested groups and present it, and then we'll get feedback to see if we're headed in the right direction. But we know it's important to all of you and it's important to us to keep the budget manageable, to provide you with great services, but to make sure that we keep it affordable enough for you all to stay living here.
Thanks for watching PACTV Community News. Replay times are listed at pactv.org. Click on the PCN logo to view each complete edition or individual story.
We're planning stories for the new year. Send your ideas to me, Kim, at pactv.org. We are looking for stories about local people, businesses, organizations, and events.
See us on YouTube by searching for the PACTV Community News channel. Also, like us on Facebook to receive previews each week with links to all our stories.
Thanks for watching, and join us next week for another edition of PACTV Community News.